Shalom, shalom. Giving all honor and praise to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shah. By the Battle Axes of the Most High, come to you on Wednesday class to get edified in the Most High God's name. The name of the class is called Surely Are All Men Vain in Nature. In nature. Reason why we look at it because a lot of time we can get caught up really putting our own philosophies to this truth, or putting our own say in this truth instead of leaning on the Most High God, man. And it'll get a lot of brothers and sisters in trouble, man. And so what we're gonna try to do today is just kind of go in through precept, man, through the name of the Most High, man. Just kind of bring in, thus said the Lord, man, and get this thing started. First precept we going into tonight is 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 1. I know that's a precept a lot of brothers pull, during class, but this is a heavy precept concerning the things that Israel do as a whole. So when we get there, 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 1 and verse 1.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 1. Mm-hmm. Not a spirit, speaking expressly.
Because guess what? When you walking in the spirit, and that's why we tell brothers and sisters, man, stay in the spirit. Because guess what? Guess what the spirit gonna do? It's gonna speak expression. That means it's gonna be speaking in the spirit of the Most High God. Anything else, guess what? It's a vain thing to do. It's something you doing on your own. So the spirit speak expressly, man. We don't.
That in the latter time, some shall depart from the faith.
And it's gonna be a lot of people depart from the faith. Why? Because they got their own agenda. And it's something that's why I say the Bible tells us the kingdom of heaven is within us. Why? Because guess what? We are the ones that can make or break ourselves. If we thinking that the Most High God is supposed to be with us in all things, how he supposed to be with us and us not keep the commandment? How is he gonna bless us and us not doing thus said the Lord? It's something that we gotta wrap our minds around, right? We don't.
Giving heed to seducing spirit.
Because a lot of people that in this walk, they give heed to seducing spirits. When you looking at the camps and how all the camps and structures now they set up, guess what? If a camp leader ain't moving right, guess what? His whole congregation move on. If a man got a household and his household's not moving right, and that man's not moving right, guess what? His whole household gonna be off. It's not just that person. It's gonna be the whole household. Watch it. Go to Proverbs. Hold y'all precept in 1 Timothy. We're going back. Proverbs 29 and 12, right quick.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 12. If a ruler hearken to lie.
Read that again.
If a ruler hearken to lie.
It goes into a person that's in leadership. It goes into a person that's in the head of a state. A person that's supposed to be or head of a household. Like you said, should be con on this. We don't.
If a ruler hearken to lie,
if that ruler hearken to lie, read.
All his servants are wicked.
And he said all his servants are wicked, man. So guess what? That's going into, like you say, when we looking at people that's like supposed to be leadership or be in leadership roles, people that's supposed to be head of households, guess what? Even the women that's supposed to be over their children. What if a mother lies to her son or daughter? Does that make this thing right? No. That's how a person goes off too. Guess what? That's why as people, even the people that's in a single parent household, guess what? You got to make sure that you stay grounded like these, because a lot of times it's a single parent household is what the woman. So these women got to make sure that they stay grounded too. When they not staying grounded, guess what happened, man? They fall into a lot of traps, man.
Yeah. Listen to outside influences other than the Bible. Because men will come in, boy, they got that sweet talk all the time. And y'all should understand that's what men do. We like it's like them things say we all vain. So yes, they come with sweet talks. Women come with sweet talk, but at the same time, we all always stick with this Bible. What it say, despite what it sounds, because stuff sound real good. You can listen to some stuff, it'd be like, "Ooh, that was nice." God bless those who bless themselves. Yeah, but don't the drug dealer help themselves? Don't the thief help themselves? So I guess they blessed them. But it sounded good though.
It sounded real good. You know, Pastor Pochops, he got the best sermon in the world. But it said, if a ruler hearkens to lies, all his service is wicked. This is how you can make your service wicked. Watch this. Go to Isaiah chapter 1 and 23. This is how you make your service wicked. Gifts, letting them do what they want to do, no accountability. A lot of times people, like you say, you see these individuals like they get by themselves. Why? Because guess what? They don't want to be held accountable. Guess what? And some people go wicked, and some people have a whole crowd of wicked people with them, man. But we got to make sure that if we looking at these things spiritually, we gonna stay spiritual. We not gonna come about the spirit. We gonna stay spiritual. And this how brothers should be thinking at all times, right? Read that out.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 23. Thy princes are rebellious.
Guess what? Because the rules are already rebellious. He hearkening to lies, right, Reed?
And companions of thieves.
Guess what? Then these same people, they turn to companions of thieves, Reed.
Even one loveth gifts.
Now, read that right out.
Everyone loveth gifts.
Everyone loveth gifts. This is how you pull people out of the spirit, man. That's when the ruler hearkens to lies, man. Ain't got no, guess what? Now all of a sudden you respect the person. Now all of a sudden you're not doing it according to the Most High God. You're not following how the scriptures say you're supposed to go. Right? Read.
And follow it after rewards.
And guess what? And this is what people follow. Guess what, man? You can come over here, I can make you a captain. You're following after rewards, man. We see this all the time, man. Man, people, man, in Israel, man, people just throw around rank like it's just hey, you got a captain or a seal in your pocket, man. I'm gonna get his brother something. They walk around with it in their pocket and just give it away freely. Read that part over again,
and follow it after rewards.
Because a lot of people do that because they follow it after rewards, man. Read on.
They judge not the fatherless.
They judge not the fatherless. Read.
Neither doth the cause of the widow come unto them.
Because guess what? According to Proverbs what? According to Proverbs what? 30? Let me see. It's like according to, let me see. 30. According to Proverbs chapter 31 and 9, it told us, open thy mouth and judge righteously. Plead the cause of the poor and needy. This is what we're supposed to be doing. According to the scripture, we're supposed to be pleading the cause of the poor and needy. What's the needy? The fatherless, the widow. Guess what? Those are the main things that's poor. Guess what? And we are the fatherless right now. And the women, guess what? Y'all are the widows too. Looking at our conditions of our nation. We all poor in spirit, man. Trying to get ourselves built up, man, in this walk, right? It's something that we got to be able to get our mind wrapped around, man. Right? Read on.
Therefore said the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel.
The mighty one of Israel, read.
Oh, I will ease me of my adversaries.
The Lord said, I'm going to ease me of my adversaries. Read on.
And avenge me of mine enemies.
And he's going to avenge me of my, avenge him of he going to avenge his enemies. This is how the Lord said he's going to do. So when we start, we got to expect what the Lord said he's going to do, man. He's not a man that he should lie. Neither the son of man is going to lie. Go back to 1 Timothy chapter 4.
Book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 1. Now the spirit speaketh expressly.
He said the spirit speaketh expressly. It's supposed to be, this is how we're supposed to be. Talking in the spirit, walking in the spirit, loving in the spirit, understanding in the spirit, getting our knowledge in the spirit. This is how we're supposed to be doing, man. That's how the spirit speaketh expressly, man. Read.
That in the latter time, some should depart from the faith.
Guess what? Because guess what? Reason my brothers and sisters get depart from the faith. Why? Because they don't want to be held accountable. That's how people get in trouble in this walk, right? Read.
Giving heed to seducing spirits.
Say giving heed to seducing spirit. And we just read about all kinds of seducing spirits, man. Brothers taking gifts. Brothers want rank. Guess what? Sisters, oh, she can't do the kitchen this week. And okay, then I'm through. They wicked over there. I can't do the kitchen. All right, brother. All right, sister. Come on, man. Is that what it's all about? You that mad because you can't do the kitchen? Guess what? You go home and you don't even want to do your own damn kitchen. You get mad in the congregation because they don't let you do the kitchen. Come on, man. Stop playing the games, man. Read.
In doctrines of devils.
And guess what? They giving doctrines of devils, man. And this is the doctrine of devils. Go to Isaiah chapter 9. In verse 15.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 9, verse 15. The ancient and honorable, he is the head.
Yeah, he is the head. This is Christ. Read.
And the prophet that teacheth lies, he is the tail.
But guess what? Everybody that teaches lies, not in Yahweh's name, everybody teaches lies, not using the Most High God's words, they the tail. They the low. Right? Read.
For the leaders of this people cause them to err.
And he said, guess what? He said the leaders of this people cause them to err, man. That's why it's pivotal that us is supposed to be, we supposed to be the leaders. We supposed to be brothers. But if we were supposed to be brothers, we should be able to hold each other accountable when we're doing things the wrong way, right? This is our walk. This is our lot. If we can't correct these brothers, we can't correct each other right now, guess what, man? You hindering the brother and sister. This is a true saying. When you ain't part of the solution, you definitely part of the problem, man. The Most High God made it according to Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. We cannot suffer sin upon our brothers and sisters, man. So that means you got to be part of the solution. Ezekiel chapter 3 tell us what? Guess what? That blood can be on your hands. So if you ain't part of the solution, you part of the problem. Right? Read.
And they that are led of them
And
are
they that,
destroyed.
hold on. They that are led of them are what?
Or destroyed.
They're destroyed, man. Can't make these things up. When we read the scriptures, we look at it. We don't want to look at scriptures blind. We want to look at scriptures as it is written, man. Because guess what? We got a lot of stuff to deal in-house, but we got a lot of stuff to deal outside the house, too. We got a big old yard, and there's a whole bunch of sheep out here. And these sheep need to be fed, man. This is our job to feed the sheep, man. Guess what? The Lord said, woe to them that divide and spread my sheep, man. Guess what? When we out here doing it, then guess what we doing? We know less, we know worse, we know better than the Christian church, man. We might well sing Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. And come on with it, man. Let's go to Psalm chapter 60 and verse 11. Psalm chapter 60. Yeah, blows the horn back hits. Read it out.
The book of Psalms, chapter 60, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Give us help from trouble.
So you said, give us help from trouble. Read.
For vain is the help of man.
Said, read that again.
Give us help from trouble.
Uh-huh.
For vain is the help of man.
Because a lot of time, man, brothers thinking like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying, man, you come over here, man, I can help you. You can help me do what? What can you help me do? What you gonna correct me when I'm wrong? Can we hold each other accountable? I mean, can we go through precepts? Can I call you? We go through precepts? Are we building? What are we doing? If we not putting the Most High God first, then what we doing this for, man? I'm trying to lay a little basis down, trying to get brothers and sisters to see. It ain't, when we get into this walk, we got to bless you. When we get into the walk, we got to start thinking about the Most High, getting our focus, man, on the game plan, man. Because everything that's not focused of the Most High, guess what it is? It's pure vain. What is you gonna do? Go to you think the man gonna help you? No. Because when the Most High come to get you, matter of fact, go to Psalm 33 right quick. Let me see. Psalm 33. We're going to go to Psalm 33. Go to, start at verse 11. Watch this, y'all.
The book of Psalms, chapter 33, verse 11.
This is how this thing rolls. Read.
The counsel of the Lord standeth forever.
He said, the counsel of the Lord standeth forever, man. Read.
The thoughts of his heart to all generations.
This is how our God thinks. His counsel stand forever. His thoughts to all generations. Guess what? It's gonna withstand anything. This is how God works. Read on.
Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord.
This is Israel. Read.
In the people whom he had chosen for his own inheritance.
Hallelujah. Read.
The Lord looketh from heaven.
Mm-hmm.
He beholdeth all the sons of men.
Because the Lord said the Lord, like, that's why he tell us consider the ant. Because when he's looking down at us, we just like little ants to him, man. That's why he's looking down from heaven, man, right? Read.
From the place of his habitation.
Uh-huh.
He looketh upon all the inhabitants of the earth.
That's why that's how he looking down at all the inhabitants of the earth. Just looking around at everything, right? Read.
He fashioned their hearts alike.
He said he fashioned their hearts alike. Guess what, man? He's trying to get us on one accord to do what? Why? What is he fashioning our hearts alike to do? Keep the commandments. This is how he fashioned our hearts alike, man. Read.
He considereth all their works.
Uh-huh.
There is no king saved by the multitude of an host.
Guess what? And no matter who you are, and no matter how much power you get, no king can be saved by his army, by his guns, by his family. You cannot be saved by them things, man. Because if the Most High God required you, guess what? You can't do nothing about it. Read.
A mighty man is not delivered by much strength.
He said a mighty man, I guess, well, we know that through what? King David. This is King David prophesied, but guess what? He's telling you a mighty man is not saved by his strength. David wasn't stronger than Goliath, but guess what? When he had the power of the Most High God, he had the Most High God power on his hand, guess what? He couldn't stand with him. Goliath could not stand with King David. And nobody else did, not the lions, not the tigers, not the bears. Nobody could stand in front of King David, man, because the Most High God was with him. Right? Read.
And horse is a vain thing for safety.
Because guess what? You can't, just like the Most High God put a tornado out on the road. You think he can outrun a tornado if he wanted to catch you, your butt was caught. You can't outrun a tornado. If he wanted you to get, you got. What you gonna do? Read.
Neither shall he deliver any by his great strength.
Man, you can't gonna deliver nobody by that great strength, man. Read.
Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him.
He said, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him. That means keep this going, as all of this is going into what? Keeping God's commandments. Right? Read.
Upon them that hope in his mercy.
Because this is what we're supposed to be thinking like. This is supposed to be our mindset. Fearing the Lord, asking the Lord to give you give you mercy. Because if we think about it on a day-to-day basis, we all sin. Every one of us. Every one of us. We do something like, dang, man. Like, brother got me, man. Like, brother got me. Brother got me out of the spirit. Sister got me out of the spirit. This job got me out the spirit. My wife got me out the spirit. My husband got me out. These children got me out the spirit. This person driving beside me in traffic got me out. Well, somebody done got you. That's why we got to be praying for God's mercy at all times. Lord, please have mercy on me. Please don't take your Holy Spirit away from me. We got to be praying. Look, you don't know at any given time, the Lord, he'll take it from you, man. Not being obedient. These things come about. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 13 and verse 1. These things come about, man. And these things right here should help us grow. These things should help us get a better understanding of our God. These things should give us a better understanding of who we are. Because every one of us, man, we easily get pulled out of the spirit, man. Why? Because men are vain by nature, man. Because that's the first reaction, is the flesh to talk. But when you can, if you can get that spirit to talk before that flesh, man, and really, really walk ye in it, well, you got something going on, man. Read it out.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1.
Read it.
Surely vain are all men by nature.
Hey, this is Solomon telling us this. Hey, surely vain are all men by nature, because this is our first instinct, to be vain, to be in the flesh. Because guess what we see when we see a person? People see flesh. But guess what? If a person was spiritual, when they start talking, guess what they feel? The first thing you're going to do, spirit pop in your mind. Like, dang, sister out the spirit like a mother. But don't let sister pull you out the spirit because she out the spirit. Don't let brother pull you out the spirit because you out. Don't let brother pull you out the spirit because he out the spirit. This is something that we got to start getting our focus back. Getting our focus back so we can be able to push forward, man. And the Lord is requiring us to do these things, right? Read.
Who are ignorant of God.
Because guess what? When you're walking in the flesh, you're ignorant of God. You're ignorant of the Most High God, right? Read.
And could not, out of the good things that are seen, know him that is.
Read.
Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster.
Because a lot of people don't acknowledge the workmaster. Man, this is the first thing what a vain person do, and every one of us do this. Man, I wish this. Man, I'll go over there and you always say what I would do. We got this, and everybody, like I told you, I don't just make classes about people. My class go for me. There's certain things that I do, even as a leader, that I know I got to work on. And if I tell the congregation that I don't have things to work on, then I'll be deceiving myself. Everybody has things to work on, but are you willing to work on those things to get better at doing these things? This is our lot. And by this being our lot, guess what? The Most High God expecting us to walk in it, right? Hold your precept right quick. Go to Romans chapter 1 and verse 23. Romans chapter 1 and verse 18. We're going to read down 23. Because we know how ignorant men can be of the Most High God. But guess what? The Most High God can, guess what? He can meet you where you at too. What it say, whatever him want, him will get. Right? Read that.
The book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 18. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men.
So guess what? When you start seeing shootings, when you start seeing things occur, don't get started. Be like, dang, that was pretty tough. But if the Most High God don't allow it, it can't happen. We know that the Most High God do what? He set the instructions in their mind while they sleep. So when they get up, what happens? They perform it. Us being in the truth, we know we should know better. It shouldn't startle us up us at all. We know this got sent from the Most High God in order for it to happen. Yeah, all them children died. Guess what? Hey, the harsh thing about it, guess what? The Lord required all their souls right then. Because if he didn't require it, it would not happen. Right? Read that over again.
The book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 18 from the top. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all unrighteousness, against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness.
You said who hold the truth. So you even in this walk, when you look at us, how we hold the truth unrighteousness, a lot of us we do it. We do it. We in this walk. What I'm talking about, know the truth. And guess what? And do things unrighteous. And guess what? Act like you ain't even did nothing. Say things. That's why it's pivotal that you can't even open your mouth to say certain things. You can't. You'll get yourself in trouble. Right? Hold it. We going back. You got to pull it. Matthew 12:36, man. You got to pull it. Brother, sister had this precept highlighted, man. I'm talking about for real.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 12, verse 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men should speak.
Mm-hmm.
They should give account thereof in the day of judgment.
Read.
For by the words thou shalt be justified,
Mm-hmm.
and by thy words thou shalt be condemned.
Because guess what? It goes one and the same. You can help your situation, or you can hurt your situation. That's why when you knowingly, we should make sure that we stay keeping ourselves focused and keeping ourselves in the spirit. We should keep ourselves focused like that. Why? We should keep ourselves focused. Sometimes, watch this, Ecclesiastes 5:1. This is the reason why we should keep ourselves focused, because sometimes we be out doing something we don't even consider what? That we're doing evil. Right? Sometimes we don't even consider, we like, dang. Sometimes I say things out my mouth. I say, dang, that was kind of wicked right there, bro. I could look at myself like, brother, that was kind of wicked right there. But guess what? If I ain't able to catch these things, then guess what? I'll continue to keep doing it. When is, guess what, like the Lord looking at us like, Negro, when you gonna change? Yeah. You part Negro, part Israelite. Read it up.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 1. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God.
So we know 2 or 3 people gathered in the Most High God's name. That's the house of the Most High God, right? Read.
And be more ready to hear.
The Bible tells us to be more ready to hear. Read.
Than to give the sacrifice of food. For they consider not that they do evil.
Because that's why you got to make sure consider the words that we say. Because every idle word, we have to pay for these things. By thy mouth shall you be justified, but by thy mouth shall you be condemned. One and the same, right? Read verse 2.
Verse 2. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before God.
Don't be hasty to utter anything before God. Don't just come out, well, Lord, I know you just give me an opportunity, Lord. If you give me this job, then I'm going to just keep every Sabbath. Lord, give you that job. You miss more Sabbath than a little bit. We got to make sure. That's why the Lord tell us when we come to him, that's what we supposed to do. Be prepared to what you're going to say, man. We don't want to come over there and tell the Lord anything, because the Lord looking at us like, this fool just sit here and lie, man.
That ain't in the Bible.
For real.
And who is the greatest example of this, man? Like I said, we love to give our own account. We love to say, well, I would have did this in that situation. But who never did that in any situation? No, who never did that? Who never gave their own account? Christ, man. Christ, we always look back and see Christ as our example, man. Go to John 16:13.
Hold on, print it out.
Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thy heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore, let thy words be true.
This is what I want to get that last part, because I want people to understand it. Hey, start dropping them words down, man. Especially when you know you finna say something corner, hey, hold it back. Hold these things back. Like you say, and Christ give the best examples, man. Go ahead, huh? What you got, John?
John 16:13. Because that man, that's our best example. Like you said, man, like I said, you gotta let your words be few. Or if you all go speak some words, what words should come out of your mouth? The scriptures, right? We really gotta start boiling down to that. Like I tell brothers when I'm teaching the class, man, the most important thing that they need to hear is what? The scripture.
Go live.
You know what I'm saying? Read this out.
The book of St. John, chapter 16, verse 13. Howbeit, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth.
In all truth, man. Read out.
For he shall not speak of himself.
He shall not speak of himself, man. Christ never spoke of himself, man. Christ never said, well, the Father told me to tell you this, but if it was me.
If it was me, though.
If it was me, I would have did this. I mean, I'm on his side. I mean, I'm going to do what he say do. But if it was my thought or my account, Christ never not one time did that, man. Read that out.
But he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak. And he will show you things to come.
So, like we said, Christ was that master teacher, the greatest example that we could have, man. You know what I'm saying? That came through the flesh, man. Like we said, he made his words be few, or he made his words count with the words of the Most High God, man. Now, one time, did he give his own account? You never see one account in Scripture Well, Christ said, well, hold on, Father, let me go on and not one time. He said, I come to do what? The will of my Father. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to make sure that, like the scriptures say, all men are vain. We're vain by nature, man. You know, we always want to give our account of how we would have did things different. If that was me, I would have whooped that trick. If that was me, I would have grabbed her by the neck and did the uppercut and the out gouge. And you know what I'm saying? We always want to give our account, man. Sometimes it's okay to get account of the Most High God to be done with it.
That's right.
That's what we got to get into the most, man. Like I said, let your words be few.
We give praise to the Most High, because a lot of times we give ourselves all the credit.
We do.
I did that. Yeah, boy, I did that. You ain't did nothing that you wasn't allowed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So in everything we do, I don't give a dang if you just, hey, I just got a couple of dollars out of it. I just found it. Praise it. Thank you, Most High, and gave me $2.
Right.
You ain't did a dang on thing, man.
Yeah.
You got to understand, we got to give credit to the Most High at all times, man, because we just here. And the only way we're going to get out of this mess is going by and guiding ourselves according to Him. So everything we get, everything we accomplish is who? Who did it? He allowed that to happen to you. He gave you that. They're my babies. You better give the Most High God some praise. He gave you them babies, but God dang it if you don't. All right. That little Negro gonna be right there. It'll be the same one like that boy did the other day. Shot his grandma over a cell phone bill.
That's right. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. Go back to Ecclesiastes 5:5, man. We got to read 5 and 6, man.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 5. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow, than that thou shouldest vow and not pay.
Because guess what? That's why you can't just run your mouth like that, man. That's why, man. Read on.
Verse 6.
Hold on. Read that again. One more time.
Verse 5 from the top. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow, than that thou shouldest vow and not pay.
And see, we had a vow that was done between the brothers. And this should be honored. There's a vow that was said amongst us. That should be honored. He said, hey, don't vow and don't pay. That's why he said, boy, men, boy, we vain, boy.
Vain by
Run our mouth like, well, yeah, and I'm going to get that. And then, but every week, though, well, I see every day you get that liquor, though.
That's right. That's right. And that's how brothers roll. But guess what? But this is I'm gonna tell you how a lot of brothers and sisters kind of lie. They do a lot of lying. It's true. Yeah, man. When I was in the world, man, I used to have all this. But then you get in the truth, you ain't got none of it. Man, I used to be flying dress up, but then you get in the truth, you don't see none of it. Like, why we don't never? If you was like that, you should still. I mean, what's the change?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lot of times people just be talking.
Yeah, you should be getting better.
That's right. You should be the fly guy of the year. But it just be all vain talk, man.
Right. And boy, that's one thing. When I got in the truth, boy, I ain't never. It's like every Israelite you met was the big time drug dealer.
That's right. And guess what?
They were all used to be.
What I'm trying to tell you. And they be the biggest drug dealer.
All that, yeah, boy.
And the toughest people you ever seen in your life, man. Probably before they got in the truth, they probably like 0-30 or something in the streets or something.
They done whipped everybody in the hood. Everybody. They can't go home no more.
For real.
But they whipped everybody. They got in the truth now all of a sudden. I just don't fight no more. Nah, brother, you wasn't fighting before.
For real, man. You know you wasn't that tough like that, man. All of a sudden you got all these bruises behind you. Now you talking so much big noise, you ready to whoop everybody. Dang, brother, you that tough like that.
Sometimes I be hoping that them dudes don't flinch at them.
Yeah,
They be talking that noise and got all you bruises behind them. That's right. I be wanting to do that one time and watch, boy, that mother drop that mic and yell.
Be fumbling everywhere. On that hook everywhere.
Get off the mic and start crying.
Yeah, we seen them folks.
Yeah, we have.
Verse 6,
Verse 6. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin.
No, I'll read.
Neither say thou before the angel that it was an error.
I mean, you can't tell the angel this was an error that I see. The angels don't want to hear it's an error. It's already wrote down. He just wait for you to say something else. Angel, I ain't mean to say that. This ain't no negotiation. He ain't gonna negotiate. It's already written. Say something else. He's gonna write it down, just like at the courtroom. He's gonna write it down. Write some more.
What they gonna call it? Perjury. You lied, man. You just said this, now you said that. We recorded. What they call that lady? What's them ladies in the courtroom?
Be typing.
But they say read that back.
What you call?
Yes, the stenographer. Read that back, and they gonna get that paperwork and say he said such and such. That's how the angels gonna be saying. I take that now. Take that off the record. No. You said, and they ain't taking it back. Go ahead.
We don't.
Wherefore shall God be angry at thy voice, and destroy thy destroy the work of thine hands?
Because you can get the work of your hands destroyed. That's why this is why pivotal that we make sure that we do what we're supposed to do. The angels is not finna turn. No, you can't look. They right. Come on. It ain't. This ain't no negotiation. You can't negotiate with no angels. They don't take this up to the Lord.
Right.
Please don't take this. It ain't no negotiation. Because when he get ready to go back to the Father, get what? They just sending up and down the ladder, taking it to the Most High God. They report back.
And that's probably why, man, I think about it. When you get something and we don't give God the praise, and we be happy one week, then we mad next week because something else happened. Because God done got angry because you ain't giving the praise. I did this. I'm done it. And the Most High said, oh, you gave it to yourself. Ain't that what Moses did? Gave credit to himself. Yeah, gave credit to himself. Well, Most High was like, wait a minute. You did that? Right. You did that. And he could have really made it bad and said, all right, next time they ask for some water, you give it to them. They both be down there. Everybody step up, he got to spit in their mouth.
And like you say, and we know how the angel report, right? Genesis chapter 28, right quick. This is how the angels report. Genesis chapter 28, and verse 12. So they going up and they just like in Job chapter 1 and 6, just the precept of Job 1 and 6. Yeah. All right. Read it up.
The book of Genesis chapter 28, verse 12. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth.
The ladder that was on the earth, read.
And the top of it reached to heaven.
Uh-huh.
And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it.
So they going up and down this ladder. Guess what? Whatever report they got, they taking it to the Most High God, no matter how you feel it. There's no negotiation. That's why Deuteronomy 30 and 19 said, I record. He said, I record this day against you, man. Why? Anything that is recorded, he gonna go to the records. And he gonna read it out. And he ain't gonna play the game, right? This is something that our mind need to get wrapped around, right? Let's go back to Romans chapter 1.
The book of Romans chapter 1, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness.
So guess what? We went through a lot of things that were concerning ungodliness. The vows, the things that you saying into the Most High God, all the actions of men. These are things that, guess what, is ungodly to the Most High God. Read.
And unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness.
Because there's a lot of people, guess what, just even in this walk, hold the truth unrighteousness. And read.
Because that which may be known of God is manifest in them. For God has showed it unto them.
Because guess what, man? You think when a brother did something wicked, you think he don't know what he done did? The Most High God showed him that he did it wicked. If you do something wickedly, guess what? The Most High God shows you that you done this thing the wrong way. Guess what? But the people that disregard that, guess what? They don't want the Most High God to be like, well, Lord, I just don't, you just let me pay for it at the end. Okay. Some people don't really want to go through long suffering with the Most High God.
Conscience be eating them up, and then they reject their own conscience. That's the Most High telling, man, you did something wrong. Right. You need to go back and correct that. But they be like, man, forget that. They turn it back on the Most High, and guess what? When it's that time of judgment, guess what he gonna do? Turn his back too. That's
right. I'm gonna read this precept. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 20. For if our hearts condemn us, God is greater than our hearts and knoweth all things. Beloved, if our heart condemning us not, then we have confidence towards God. Guess what? And this is how this is how we looking at it, man. Verse 22, and whatsoever we ask, we receive of him, because we keep his commandments and do those things that are pleasing in his sight. So when we ask for the Lord for different things, if you're doing things pleasing in his sight, if you're doing things that you're supposed to do, when your conscience eating you up, you know the Most High God dealing with those things. But when that conscience ain't eating you up, guess what? The Most High God still dealing with you on that thing. He said, well, you don't want it. Well, he do want it. Well, guess what? Because it's easy to forgive yourself. That's easy. That's easy. But forgiving your brother and sister, that's hard. That's hard than the mud, right? Read that Romans out.
Romans 19.
In verse 19.
Romans 19. Because that which may be known of God is manifest in them.
And guess what? Because we know that God is greater than our hearts, right? Read.
For God has showed it up unto them.
God showed these things unto them. He made sure that they knew this thing, right? Read.
Verse 20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world.
He said, for the invisible things of the creation of the world, right? And we're going to go into the invisible things. We're going to go back to Wisdom of Solomon in a minute. Read on.
Are clearly seen, being understood.
Being understood, read.
By the things that are made. Even his eternal power in Godhead. So that they are without excuse.
Because guess what? The Lord makes sure the things that they're doing wrong, he's showing. So guess what? They have a chance to correct it. Because when you stand in front of the Lord, you ain't going to have no excuse. It's going to be no excuse. I done showed you this, right? Read.
Because that, when they knew God, they glorified him not as God.
Read that again.
Because that, when they knew God.
When they knew God, read.
They glorified him not as God.
Because guess what? You didn't give him the glory. And that's the same thing Moses got in trouble with. He didn't give God the glory.
And that's one thing, boy, you don't want to mess with. Do not take the Most High God's glory.
Oh, man.
Boy, don't be claiming that y'all did. Man, give him all the glory. All of it. Yeah, for real, man. Because that's one thing, boy. If you look through that time, that's one thing he's saying through the whole Bible. I'm going to get my glory one way or the other.
That's right.
I'm going to get my glory.
Why you think they got angels in heaven? And like you say in Ezekiel, and they saying to the Lord, holy, 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 holy. He's getting glory all day long. We're going to have to give him his glory. That's their job.
Right.
To fly around him all day long and say, holy, 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 holy. Man, he going to get his glory, man. One way or another. Life or death, he's going to get his glory from us, right? Read.
Neither were thankful, but became vain in their imagination.
Because this is when you see brothers or sisters get vain in their imagination. Then read.
And their foolish hearts were dark.
And their foolish heart get dark, and you see people start steering away from the truth. They start doing things vainly. When we in this truth, we got to be in this truth for the truth, right? Read.
Professing themselves to be wise.
And read on.
They became fools.
And professing themselves to be wise, a lot of people become fools. Especially when you're not doing it, thus saith the Lord, right? Read.
And changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man, into birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things.
Because this is what our people do. That's why when you see us, this is going into people. It basically is breaking down that our people go into idolatry. This is what this breaking down is, that our people definitely goes directly into idolatry. Looking at how we can go four-footed beast, we can look at a man, we can look at, guess what? Look at ourselves. Glorify me. These things become what? Idolatry to the Most High. Let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 13. It's going to explain it.
And that's telling that, and that's because they ain't thankful.
They
not thankful, man.
Are they thankful for the wrong reason?
Yeah. If you in the truth,
a lot of people think man. Like the Christians, they thinking pastor. My pastor. I be there, you talk about my pastor, not my pastor. They ain't giving the Most High the glory.
That's right.
That's vain, man. My bad.
Go ahead. No, if you in this truth, you should be thankful Because you just 1 second away getting off in your imaginations, and you be out the truth and doing exactly what it just said. Worshiping idols. And you be like, hey, I ain't gonna never worship idols. Okay.
Okay, here you go. Loop-de-loop. Here you go. Now you gone with the wind. Go ahead, read it out.
13:1.
13:2.
13:2. The Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 2.
Well, you can start verse 1 and read now.
The Book of Solomon, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1. Surely, vain are all men by nature,
Read.
who are ignorant of God.
Yeah, we see a lot of ignorance, man, and we read about this ignorance, man. Read.
And could not, out of the good things that are seen, know him that is. Neither by considering the works. Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster.
Because they don't acknowledge the workmaster. All these glories to the Lord, put your breath in your body. It's too much stuff that the Lord do for us, man. We don't consider, man. Read.
But deem either fire or wind.
Either fire or wind. Guess what? This goes into, guess what? And because I'm gonna tell you something. When you looking at brothers that jumping all over, that's one of the main reasons I went into this class. But I'm thinking about brothers that had all these different doctrines on them, man. Brother was tossed to and fro. He had a good zeal, but he had not according to knowledge, man. He want to take this and this and this and this and put it all in a bowl. You can't mix every seasoning up and put it on some chicken and think it's gonna taste good, because you can't put salt, pepper, cinnamon, nutmeg, all that stuff on chicken and you think it's just gonna taste good. No, it's not. That's too much. You can't mix all of that stuff together, man. It never works that way, man. Read.
But deem either fire or wind, or the swift air.
Read.
Or the circle of the storm, or the violent waters, or the lights of heaven.
Or the lights of heaven. Read.
To be the gods which govern the world.
And this is how this is how our people think. They want these things instead of the Most High God doing it for us. They want this came from this God, and this came from, brother. You better sit your butt down for the God destroy your butt.
Call that Mother Nature.
Yeah,
y'all better don't give that credit to nobody but the Most High.
Watch this. And even during this time, watch this. Go to 2 Kings, chapter 17. You just got to think about how our forefathers started verse 1, man. Let me jump down. Yeah, our forefathers, man, they had it going on. That's all I can say.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 1.
Read.
In the 12th year of Ahaz, in the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hosea, the son of Eli.
Read the son
of Eli, to reign in Samaria.
And he reigned in Samaria, right?
Over Israel 9 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the kings of Israel that were before him.
So get what he did was wicked in the sight of the Most High God, but he didn't do all the things they did, right? Let's jump down to verse 15.
Verse 15. And they rejected his statutes in his covenant that he made with their fathers.
Because guess what? He was building idols, just like they say. He was building idols, just like when we were going into Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, right? Read.
In his testimonies, which he testified against them, and they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them.
Because this is what this thing boiling down to. We like heathens' customs, man. If it wasn't for a heathen custom, man, guess what? The vanity wouldn't even be around. Heathens have customs, and it make us want to go do customs. A lot of these things we don't even make up. We just go do it. I guess that's why Nike got this thing say, just do it, huh? This is how we think, man. Read.
Concerning whom the Lord had charged them, that they should not do like them.
The Lord told us don't do like them. Read.
And they left all the commandments of the Lord, their God, and made them molten images.
And so guess what? We left all the commandments of the Lord, our God, and made us molten images. Like we always done. Like we continue to keep doing. We might not be building no golden calf, but we're doing celebrating birthdays and holidays. We show cutting our beards off, and so can women show wearing pants. And guess what? Men show balling their heads. Guess what? They show eating their pork.
That's the thing about it. All these customs of these other people, man, that's all they do. They are out to please the flesh. Do as thy will. That's all they're about. God say don't do this. They like, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
And you can have fun doing it.
And they think, and guess what? And a person that was wicked, they see you doing it, and they think, like, dang, you not gonna do this?
They think it's strange.
They think it's strange.
They
that you
think
ain't
it's
doing it.
strange,
Mhm.
man. I'm talking about, like, prime example. Let me help the brothers out. Sisters at work tell me, brother, buy me some lunch. I said, sister, I ain't buying y'all no lunch. Well, all the rest of the men in here, they done bought us lunch. I said, I'm asking you one question. Did you go home and tell your husband that this man bought you some lunch? He wouldn't mind. I said, guess what? Tell him one time. That's all you gotta do. Tell him one time that this other man done bought you some lunch. You're the only person think like that. This just the people with the fringe. Y'all think like that. I said, ask all these men in here. I said, look, let's go walk in here. So come walk in there. I said, hey, would y'all like it if a man buy your wife lunch? Hell no. Said, no, they ain't gonna like it. They just not gonna like it. Dang, I'm shocked. But you bought me lunch, yeah. And then all of them bought them lunch, but they don't want another man buy their wife no lunch. That's the prime example. Like I said, that's the main reason why. If I ain't gonna do it, if I want my wife to do it, I'm not gonna do it. That's how they go. But it ain't enough people standing up trying to do the right thing. Why? Because guess what? They like devils to doctors.
That's right.
They like everything everything against God, they gonna do it. Guess what? Even if master say yes, sir, master, you sick, we sick, master. That's how we think, man.
But like I said, man, it's these damn heathens, man, that got us like this, man.
Go ahead.
Let me 1 Peter 4.
Okay.
I got so many, man. You
Yeah, I got a whole bunch.
Make sure y'all put that second Maccabees 4:15 to the we love the customs of the Grecians. So earnest.
Best of all.
Best of all. We love the customs so earnest. Man. But like I said, they think it's really strange that we don't indulge in the things that they do.
Right.
They think it's strange. No, I'm not buying, just tell your husband one time, see what he said.
That's it.
You ain't never told him. No, I him that he wouldn't mind. Let's call him up right now.
Just one time. Just
No,
call.
I'd rather not. Yeah, I know you would.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, read this. I bet you won't.
I'd rather not.
So, Jam, I bet you won't. Like, yeah, I know you won't. Read this.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 3.
Read.
For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles.
But man, this is time past, man. The Israelites we here right now, we teaching the will of the Father. But this is where our problems lie with the will of the Gentiles, man. The customs of the Gentiles, we know.
When we walk in lasciviousness,
When we walk in lasciviousness, we know.
lust,
man, we know.
excess of wine, revealing,
Banqueting, what else?
an abominable thing, an abominable idolatry.
An abominable idolatry. Who's going to vanity within itself, man. Abominable idolatries, man. We got these from the other nations, man. The heathen, man. The Gentiles, man. Read verse 4. Verse 4.
Wherein they think it's strange.
They think it what?
They think it's strange
They think it's strange that we not dealing with that mess no more. Read on.
that ye run not with them to the same excess of right.
And what do they do now?
Speaking evil of you.
Man, them niggas talking about they ain't buying my lunch. All men up bought my lunch. Well, not this man, sister. Not on duty.
Talking about he broke.
They think, yeah, well, I'll be broke. That's right. But you asking me to buy your lunch, so think about it.
So you broke than me.
Right. But they think it's strange because we are actually following our God's laws right now. We've been following the customs of the world for so long that we've got accustomed to that.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we are breaking out of those strongholds, they think it's very strange that we don't want to do these things anymore, man.
That's why they look at you crazy when you say you don't eat pork.
Yeah, or celebrate Christmas. You don't celebrate your birthday. What?
It was.
Well, you can tell me happy birthday. I'd rather not. I hit them with their altar. I'd rather not.
Say, you don't celebrate your wife's birthday and your children. You don't give them no Christmas.
They know
Look,
not to come
I'ma
say
tell you,
nothing to me.
man, I
about
was
that.
at work and it was one sister. I don't celebrate Christmas. What? You don't buy your kids Christmas gifts? Nah, we don't do that. You know, my kids happy. Get out of here. Get out of here. She was dead serious.
And what's so
Like,
bad?
damn, that's the devil.
And the thing about it, you buying them gifts all year.
All year round. What I'm saying.
So, I mean, the whole year, just you didn't buy it on the 25th of December.
Right.
There's something wrong with you.
There's something wrong with you, man.
Nah, man, I actually bought them January 1st,
January 3rd,
3rd, 4th,
19.
February through 31, 1 through 31,
Oh,
March 1
yesterday.
through 31.
Yeah,
God dang it. When I'm going to work, that's for you.
I kept the lights on yesterday. I paid the rent last week.
No doubt.
Right. So I don't know. That's every day.
Right.
And then you're asking where them gifts at. Next year they need a new gift because they done named up. And that's why I stopped buying my kids gifts even when I was anywhere. Because I used to buy them stuff for they play with it. Them 3, 4 days, by they be done. After that, you be passing all the time, tripping over it. Nah, man, if you don't get it out. Damn it. Next, they looking for the next. What's next? What's next?
Real, man. Let's go back, man.
Romans.
Let's go back to Romans.
Book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 23.
Let's go read up a verse. Romans chapter 1, verse 22.
22. The book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 22. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools
They became fools, read.
and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man,
Read.
into birds, and four-footed beasts, and creeping things.
And creeping things. Let's go back to wisdom of Solomon. No, matter of fact, let's go to Job. That's what I want. That's what I said. Job 30. Job. Let me see. Let me get that. Job 36. I think it's 36. 23.
36, 23.
Yeah.
The book of Job, chapter 36, verse 23. Who hath enjoined him this way? Shalaka. Who hath enjoined him his way? Or who can say, thou hast wrought iniquity? Remember that thou magnify his work, which men behold.
Read.
Every man may see it. Man may behold it afar off.
So, cause every man may be seeing, because it's going in the same thing. Every man may be seeing, but some men might be afar off from his work, man. Right? Read.
Every man may see it. Man may behold it afar off. Behold, God is great, and we know him not.
And we know him not. Read.
Neither can the number of his years be searched out.
Because guess what? We can't even search out the number of his years, man. Think on how our God roll, man. You think you know about me? How old am I then? That's what God say. How old am I? Nigga, you don't even know how old you are because it's 360 days in the year. And get what? They get what 365 days. So how old are you?
And when they give his age, it's ancient of days. Like, what number is that? Ancient of days.
Ancient of days. That's how. That's the only thing you can call it. Ancient of days because you don't know because he before days. So you can't give him no age if he was before days.
He before time.
So we got to think like we think our mind can really think, but our mind really don't. Not in his level, man. Read.
Verse 27. For he maketh small the drops of water. They pour down rain according to the vapor thereof, which the clouds do drop and distill upon man abundantly. Also, can any understand the spreading of the clouds or the noise of his tribulation? Tabernacle. Behold, he spreaded his light upon it and covered the bottom of the sea.
So now, if you looking at how God's saying, man, he said, I spread my clouds, man, and then water, it got lightning, and it make noise. We can't think like that, man. He said, Maccabee, I want to put a sky over there. I want you to make something. What you gonna put in the sky? You don't know. No, don't use none of that. Don't use nothing I made.
Yeah,
You just
put your own thing.
Put your own thing up there. can't really think of nothing, man. You can't. We can't think like the Most High. But guess what? Us as men, we think we can take the Most High God's place and guess what? Do what we want to do. Like we can think above him. We can't. He said, "Man, I'm smarter than you. You ain't. I run faster than you. You can't. Can't do none of that. Not with the Most High. What are we gonna do? We can't do nothing against the Most High. Go to Wisdom of Solomon, man. I got some more on it. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13.
You put it cold in there.
It's even more colder. Yeah, better than yours. Read. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13. Read verse 3.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
With whose brooded, if they being delighted, took them to be gods.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know how much better the Lord of them is. For the first author of beauty has created them.
So he said, all these idols that men can make. Look at all the lightning. Look at all the stars. Look at how the rain comes. Look at all the clouds. Look at the sky. The Most High God called the sky the sea. Why would the Lord call the sky the sea? Because the Lord divided the waters. It's something we can't perceive, man. Because we look at the sky and you're like, dang, that Lord do kind of look like the sea. But then you look at it and you really like a corner thinking, you just be thinking and looking at the sky. But you can't think how the Most High. Just imagine you on the plane, you looking out the window and you seeing all these clouds and they just stick and they just whatever. You like, dang. Man, this stuff literally scared. I don't know how y'all feel, but that stuff scared the heck out of me, man. Just to see this, man, and the people, they sit there a lot. Yeah, we 30,000 feet in the air. All of a sudden, you come out the clouds, you land on the ground. Like, dang. That don't seem like no 30,000. But they just talk, man. I don't believe none of that. Cause we clouds right here.
Soon as you
Airplane. Soon you come out the cloud, you land. What's it? 30,000 feet. They don't seem like no 30,000. And I'm watching it the whole time. I mean, did it seem like this to you? I don't know. Did I miss some, y'all?
Nah,
I don't think I did either. I'm soon you come out the cloud, that wasn't touch the ground. I'm like, dang, I thought we were 30,000. So we said we elevated to 30,000 feet in the air. I ain't seen the plane go down nothing. So we said we finna land. Guess what? We land. Dang, that went up 30,000. That's why he said the heavens could not contain these. Because they can't go where he at, man.
I wonder who stressed out that tape.
Me too. For real.
Oh yeah, the same.
That's 30,000. That's nice. That tape, that must be big.
Real, man. Read all now.
Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were astonished at their power and virtue,
He said, but if they was astonished at the stuff that Most High God put in the sky, the sun, the moon, the star, read.
let them understand by them how much mightier he is that made them.
He said, look at all this stuff right there. They want to worship the sun god and all that, and Ra and all that, Tut. But look at all the stuff the Most High God. Go to the one that made them, right? Read.
For by the greatness and beauty of the creatures, proportionably the maker of them is seen.
I never knew how to spell that word like that, but I see it. Go ahead.
But yet, for this they are the less to be blamed. For they pre-adventure err, seeking God and desirous to find him.
So guess what? He said, when a person think like that, just even imagine the moon say, oh man, Lord, I'm going to seek you out. Guess what? He couldn't do it. The stars couldn't do it. Nothing that the Most High God made can search him out. Who's going to search him out? You'll lose, man. Watch this. Go to Acts chapter 17.
No, you don't get that too. You're doing 17 on. And you can go 17 on.
Let me go to verse 24.
Okay, yeah, I'm already. That's all from the second in that area. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No. Because I'm go down. I was gonna go down.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Read it up.
The book of Acts chapter 17 verse 24. God that made the world and all things therein,
Read.
saying that he that he is Lord of heaven
Mhm.
and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
So the Lord said he is doing not a temple made with hands. So what temple does he dwell in? Bingo! He dwelling in all of us. Guess what? He dwelling in all of us. That's why I say the kingdom of heaven is within you. Because he dwelling in us. Guess what? We can let the spirit win, or we can let the flesh win. But guess what? He said the spirit and the flesh won. Guess who he won again? It's you against the Most High in you. You against the Most High in you. I think that's tough.
That is.
So when you fighting that spirit, you fighting the Most High. Ooh, man, I'm about to get out that spirit, man. Well, you telling the Most High, I'm not finna get it, stay in your spirit, Lord. I know. Guess what? I'm like Maccabees. When you hit somebody with something, you got to hit them with a haymaker, a knockout blow. Tell one of your friends, they be like, yeah, man, I wanna hit an old girl. Oh, so you finna go over there and commit adultery on your wife? Boy, that hurt somebody. They hurt people.
And even if you go over there now, he's gonna be while he messing around, he gonna be thinking, man, it's gonna be on his head.
It's gonna be on his head. Say, oh, so you finna go over there and commit adultery on your wife? Dang, that's dang on shame, man. That hurt somebody. That hurt you. Oh, you finna go over there. Oh, y'all finna go over there and steal at the store? Like, no, bro, I'm not. Just a little kid now. Y'all finna go steal?
Y'all go steal.
So you telling me you're a thief? No, bro, I'm not no thief, bro. That hurt people.
Yeah.
I'm going to that party. Oh, so you just finna go fornicate all night. Tell them that. I promise you. They'll be like, man, hold on. Go to that party. You just made it sound like what it is.
Then you call, baby, what you doing? I'm at the house chilling, man. I'm TV with my wife. You gotta make them feel bad. Bro, you going to, so you finna go fornicate with a sister? That's what you said? But I'm talking about that hurt. You just got to go on here.
Yeah, man, it changed. I used to do it all the time. Brother be like, I'll have you. Yeah, so you just gonna go fornicate, huh?
Yeah.
And they be like,
So who that girl you were fornicate with last week? Like, bro, but that's hurt. When you use God's word, not your own word, but when you use God, this hurt, man. This hurt people. You think it don't hurt? It hurt people. Let's imagine somebody said, man, bro, you ain't nothing but an adulterer. You sound like you just hit you in your face. Like, ain't no thing adulterer.
and he thought you were doing something too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got this girl I be getting on the side. So you just commit adultery like that? And watch. I promise you, that whole lifestyle, all of a sudden, he gonna look at that girl he going over with, she gonna be like, what's wrong with you?
Man, I'm done. I'm done. Read on up.
Verse 25.
Verse 25.
Neither is worship with man's hand,
Mm-hmm.
as though he needed anything.
It said, needed worship with man's hand, though he, like the Most High God need anything, man. What you gonna do? All right, read.
Seeing he giveth to all life and breath and all things.
Guess what? He said he give it to all life, breath, and he gave us all things, right?
Oh.
Read.
And had made of one blood all nations of men.
He said, one blood, all nations of men. Read.
For to dwell on all the face of the earth. And had determined the times before appointed.
So guess what? He determined the time before you even appointed. These was already the time. It was already appointed. Just like when you get ready, if we die, it's already appointed a day. It's already appointed a day, man. I just looking at listening to all these stupid scenarios they had on the radio. Do you want to know when the day you gonna die or how you gonna die? They had all these different scenarios. Brothers don't want to know how they gonna die. Why? Because if you say you gonna die in a car wreck, you'll never get in the car.
Never get in the car.
Might be riding a bicycle.
Let's see. You gonna die on this day. Guess what, man? You'll be that day come, or you'll try to hide on every goddamn thing. You trying to see if you can get one more day out of it. And you'll be worried, man.
That's one reason I never bought a motorcycle, man. Because of the fact that I said there's one way I know how I'm not gonna die. I won't die on the motorcycle.
And get what, man? And I looked at the same way. Just I ain't saying about the motorcycle, but I like see the car was coming. I was finna get hit by a car. I was like, Lord, for real.
Oh.
This how I'm gonna go, man. That's how I was like, I thought I would go out like, like a gangster or something, man. I'm like, man, Lord, this how I'm gonna go. But the car ended up swerving. I was like, all praise to the Most High. I was young. I was real young, man. I sure said that. I wasn't thinking about the Lord in no kind of way. I just was like, dang, this is how I'm gonna go. But like you say, these type of things, like the Lord don't need us, man. He never needed us. But guess what, man? He chose us, though, right? He never needed us, but he chose us, man. Read.
Verse 26 from the top. And had made of one blood all nations of men.
Read.
For to dwell on the face of the earth.
Because the Lord made us to dwell on the earth, man. Because this is why our kingdom gonna be here. Man. Read.
And had determined the time before appointed in the bounds of their habitation.
Because he divided the lands, man. Divided everybody lot. Read.
That they should seek the Lord.
That we should do what?
That they should seek the Lord.
This is our purpose. To seek the Lord, man. Read.
If happily they may feel after him and find him, though he be not far from every one of us.
So guess what? And the Lord giving us every one of us, man. That's in this, every one of us, man. Children of Israel, man. It's not getting twisted. He said he ain't never far from us. You just got to seek him. It ain't hard. A lot of time we be in our mess. Man, I just want out, man. Just let me get this out. Lord said, I'm right here. You telling him, I know you told him. I mean, you could tell me I'm right here. I'm just right here. Just tell me.
I'm gonna show you how close he is. Everybody look down at the bottom. There he is right there. His word is right there. He said, I ain't far from y'all.
Yeah.
I left that for y'all, so y'all can't say I ain't there. I'm right. He right there.
Right there. Big con. He right here. Like you say. Sirach chapter 11 and verse 1.
Oh, you was finished on that other?
Yeah.
Hold on, I wanted to finish that up right quick. If you don't mind. All right, do the 28. Because I wanted to go to 30 on that.
Verse 28. For in him we live.
For in him we live. Go ahead.
And move. And have our being. As certain also of your own poets have said. For we are also his offspring.
Go ahead.
For as much then as we are the offspring of God, we are not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold.
See, the Most High is nothing like us. Even though he created everything, created us, don't think of me as gold, because he think of us as what? Gold. He said, don't think of me like y'all are. I'm not that. I created everything. Go ahead.
Like unto gold or silver or stone, graven by art in man's device. In the times of this ignorance, God winked at it.
And the Most High guy even winked at it, like, man, they tripping. But guess what? If they go ahead, if they do this, I'll bring them back. Go ahead.
But now commanded all men everywhere to repent.
To what?
To repent.
Now, if they repent, I'll bring them back. Because y'all acting like God was like us. I'm a God. That's why cats be saying that. I'm a God. I be talking about, man, can you go over there and lay hands on them and get there at the wheelchair? Or you should just be able to speak a word.
Right.
Go to the hospital to heal out children.
Right. Just tell everybody at the graveyard, get up. And see what happens.
Right. Just like you say. And all Peter pop out with all them selling all that stuff. They never go to the hospital to heal none of the children. Go in there and feed all. Go in there and heal them right now. There's a lot of sick. There's a lot of hospitals, man. Got children that laying there all day long. Go in and lay your hands on them, man. Eat them right.
Go take a couple of fishes and feed the nation.
For real, man. Go over there and just guess what? We want to see you put your sorcery hands on one of them children and just heal them. Can't do it. Because guess what? Even if you have a snake and that throw it down, we'll throw our snake down and eat all y'all snake. That's how we roll. That's Sirach chapter 11 and verse 1, man. This is how we supposed to be getting lifted up through the Most High. We got to start thinking, start getting our mindset, thinking about how our God wants us to be, right?
The book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 1. Wisdom lifted up the head of him that is of low degree, and making him to sit among great men.
This is going into the humble and into the meek, man. Wisdom lifted up the head of him that is of low degree. This is going into the humble, man.
And that's going into us. Well, we ain't got nothing, and we the low. We of a low degree.
That's it.
But then the Most High said, man, I can make y'all smarter than everybody y'all that never came across. All your professors, all the government, everybody who think they so smart. All you saying, read my word.
That's right.
Learn my word and watch how you confound them at all times.
Yep. We come read on up.
Commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance.
So guess what? It no matter how good you look or no matter how ugly you look, man. It don't mean a damn thing, right? Read.
The bee is little among such as fly, but her fruit is the chief of sweet things.
Because guess what? The honey is the chiefest of the sweetest thing, man. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 30, verse 15, right quick. Says the bee is one of the smallest insects, but it's the chiefest among them. Guess what? Honey. Well, we use honey for a lot of stuff, man. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 15. Listen.
The book of Proverbs chapter 30, verse 15. The horse leech had two daughters, crying, give. There are three things that are never satisfied. Yea, four things say not, it is enough.
So it said the horse leech had two daughters, crying, give. There are three things that are never satisfied. Yea, four things say not, it is enough. And the two daughters is going to what?
Northern kingdom and southern kingdom.
Yeah, exactly. Going into the northern and southern tribe. Because that's all we telling asking the Lord. Give. And guess what? The Lord said, man, I give y'all everything. It still ain't never enough for y'all, man. That's just how we do with our children. Well, we give our children so much stuff and it still ain't never enough. Give out, guess what? Give our, not just children, our household. Give. Guess what? And it ain't never enough, man. Read.
The grave and the barren womb. The earth that it is not filled with water.
These are things that's not satisfied. The grave, the barren, the womb that's barren, that ain't never satisfied either. And it's the earth that is not filled with water, because guess what? No matter how much it rains, guess what? The earth ain't been overflow. Water still will be on that mud, right? Read.
In the fire that said not, it is enough.
Man, guess what? You light a fire, man. Guess what? The Most High God don't let it go out. That fire keep on burning. Burn, baby, burn. Just like the lake of fire. You ain't gonna be able to put it out. Read.
The eye that mocketh at his father.
The eye that mocketh at his father, read.
And despiseth to obey his mother.
But guess what? This is going into these wicked children, man. Because our children sometimes be wicked than he mug. Guess what, man? And newsflash, children, y'all got to pay for this, man. You thinking that you don't? It says, an eye that mocketh at his father. How can an eye mock at his father? Look at this nigga. He think he all that. But you better humble down.
Yeah, he just your daddy.
You better humble down. Because the Most High God don't play, man. These things, scriptures say what they say. They set up for, guess what? For order and structure. It's not set up for us to be playing around, man. You gonna honor your father. The Bible never told us to honor our children. Show me a precept that's saying it. But it's tell you to honor your father and your mother, though.
How long? All the days of their life.
All the days of their life, you're supposed to honor them, right? Read that up.
The ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. There'll be three things.
It said, because it's going into their eye. What it say their eye gonna do? It said the ravens of the valley gonna pick it out, and the young eagles gonna eat it. Well, man, I'm telling you, that's guess what? Why they say you keep putting your eyes on me, I'm gonna knock it back in your head, man. Yeah. That's how the Most High God talk the same way. Where you think you get it from? You better straighten that look up, man.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, hey, like I said, man, pull that lip back in your mouth, man. Wow, pop it back up in there, mother. Right?
Come.
Go what? I don't give a damn how long your lip is.
Boy, yeah, and you done pulled yours back a lot of times.
Suck that mug up.
Come.
Read.
There be three things which are wonderful for me.
Uh-huh.
Yea, four which I know not.
He said there's three things that are wonderful for him before I know not. Read.
The way of an eagle in the air.
Because guess what? You know, a man, we can record it, but you don't know where that eagle gonna go. You really don't. That mug get to flying. Hey, I'm gonna tell you how Esau do, man. I'll be watching. I don't know what. I'm just being infatuated with animals and insects. I just watch this stuff all day long. Esau put a camera on the eagle's back and had the eagle flying around everywhere to try to find out how eagles fly. And these eagles go a different place every day. They never go to the same spot. They trying their best. Here's what they say. They go an 80-mile range. Then you listen to the next day, they went a 20-mile range. Then you listen to the next day, they went a 100-mile range. You can't keep up with them. And they just soaring. They ain't flap, flap, flap. They just soaring. They just going for miles and miles. Can't keep up with them. Man, just one eagle went so far, and then the camera just blanked off. I said, dang, this eagle right here just went out the thing. You can't keep up with it. I'm look, Esau is just like that. He's just a vain man, man.
You know what he says? He studied everything.
Everything.
What the Bible says. He wants to know. He's trying to know everything because he's trying to be like God.
Read on.
Verse 19 from the top. The way of an eagle in the air.
Read.
The way of an serpent. The way of a serpent upon the rock.
The way of serpent upon a rock. Read.
The way of a ship in the midst of the sea. In the way of a man with a maid.
So guess what? You don't know how this thing gonna go. That's why, just like even like the ship is like a serpent upon a rock. You walk past that rock, you don't know if that snake gonna bite your butt or if it's gonna let you make it. We don't know. If the ship was in the sea, guess what? And the waves in it, you don't know which way it's gonna go. You don't know if it's gonna flip over. You don't know if it's gonna take you east. You don't know if it's gonna take you west, man. You really don't know. They're like with Job. Not Job, Jonah. They roll hard, but they couldn't make it to shore because you don't know which way that mug take you, right?
Yeah, it's like when I'll be watching it. What is that? Them Bering Sea where they be out there getting them crabs and stuff. Boy, it'd be calm all of a sudden. It'd be nice and calm one day. Then, boy, you'd be like, "Wow, I'll never take that job, boy." Well, I mean, just the whole everything messed up. Like, boy, I said, man, ain't nowhere in the world.
Let's go back to Rock chapter 11 and verse, start at verse 4.
The book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 4. Boast not of thy clothing and raiment, and exalt not thyself in the day of honor. For the works of the Lord are wonderful.
He said, because the works of the Lord are wonderful. They're going to touch on it. They'll read.
And his works among men are hidden.
Read.
Many kings have sat down upon the ground.
He said, many kings have sat down upon the ground. Read.
And one that was never thought of had won the crown.
And then guess what, man? You just see one brother, man, you don't even think, like, dang, y'all, him? Yes, him. Right, read.
Many mighty men have been greatly disgraced, and the honorable delivered into another man's hand.
So guess what? It said, many mighty men have been greatly disgraced, and the honorable delivered unto other man's hand. You thinking these brothers held up in the higher estate? Or if you just even look at it, let's go on a small spectrum, like verse 4 saying, boast not thyself in clothing and raiment. Man, you know, I might be killing everybody in that move, man. No, but it ain't nothing that a brother saying, like, if I dress down in the world, I'm dressed down in the truth. Guess what? Live by it. If it's what you saying, don't about it, just talk. But don't be in there just because you busting like this. Don't just, oh, this nigga out there, you know, I'm crushing everybody. That's how I do.
And some of our people do that, man. Our women choose men because of how they dress. Men choose women because of how they dress. And then he get back to the house, that's the only suit he got.
Right.
He was clean though, but that's it. That was it. So a lot of times, man, we don't, hey, don't boast in and don't even look at the ones who, yeah, I'm clean. You know, we black, you know, we always fresh and clean, we think.
Yeah.
But we ain't supposed to be thinking that this is just making me better. No, your spirit's still ragged.
Say, yeah, he look good in that suit. He's a horrible leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that gonna do for
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And that's the same thing the scribes and Pharisees was saying in Matthew chapter 23 and verse 5 right quick. It's gonna hit it right quick.
Ain't that what Sunday church is about?
This little light of mine, I don't let it shine.
Well, it's about how who come to clean it.
Yeah. That's what it's about. This little light of mine, I don't let it shine. Think about that suit. They ain't thinking about no clean no man. Straight about that suit, man.
Yeah.
Hey, he cleaning in the board of health. Yeah. The board of health ain't that clean.
And then he got on a double-breasted, long pinstripes. Boy, as soon as church over with, he got on a white beater with about 7 holes in it, man.
Oh, the secret little pookie there. Read
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 23, verse 5. But all their works they do for to be seen of men.
because this is what a lot of times people get caught up in doing work to be seen of men, right? Read.
They make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their
And
garments,
they enlarge the borders of their garments. Read.
and love the uppermost room at feasts, in the chief seats in the synagogue.
Because this is what we see. This is how you letting your raiments and man, let me put me up in the front, man, because I'm my gear right there. I'm question all these niggas how I do. No, it ain't even all about that, man. Yeah, well, you better keep the commandments and live, man. But the Most High God destroy your butt.
You'll see somebody come in one day, they have a board of blue about that thick, all around. Friend is gonna be about 2 foot long, all up there. Talking about, hey, I keep the commandment. And boy, you go to their house, ashtray full of weed and cigarette butts, and this porno still in the DVD. You know, just
don't throw my do the ashtray away, bro.
all that, man.
Don't throw it.
The porno still in the DVD. It done ejected itself.
Let's go to Acts, man, chapter 18. But you know what? A lot of times, we all laugh because back when we got like a mother. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something though. The Lord requires us when we read to have a vision. How you been able to break the story down? Because the Lord said He showed you so much stuff so we can see it. He expecting us to see the scriptures and to make them come to life. Man.
Get in them.
You can't see it. Guess what, man? A prophet without a vision surely will perish, man.
Get in them, man.
We got to. Guess what? And you women, y'all got to have that vision to see what these scriptures are saying too. These scriptures should be popping up off the page to you, man. It should be like, dang, this should just pop you in the face, just like you do the men. It's supposed to. Read Acts chapter 18 and verse 1.
The book of Acts, chapter 18, verse 1. After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth.
And so after these things, Paul departed from Athens and he came to Corinth. So now, if you think about Athens, okay, Corinth. So what was Paul doing in Corinth? Go to the book of Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 1. Let's see what he did in Corinth. First Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 1. Because a lot of times when we speak, let's see what Paul did in Corinth. Because it's going to tie into it, because all these things go one and the same. When you get there, I'll read.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye be ignorant. How that our fathers be under the cloud, and all pass through the sea.
So he was in there teaching about Moses, and guess what? Us being getting spiritual baptism, man, through Moses, right? Read.
And we're all baptized unto Moses in the cloud.
In the cloud, read.
And in the sea.
And in the sea, read.
And did all eat the same spiritual meat,
Read.
and did all drink the same spiritual drink. For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ.
So guess what? Even with Moses, guess what? That rock that followed them, guess what? Was Christ. He was always with us. He never was not with us. Right? So this is what he was teaching. He was teaching about the Spirit of Christ and letting everybody know, guess what? Even with Moses and Christ, there's no separation. When Moses was teaching, Christ was in the midst of his teaching. Because he was led by what? The Most High God. If Most High God giving Moses his word, he giving him who? Christ.
He was there all the time. They went around that 40 years around the mountain. Right. He was there walking with them. So that's why I say that verse right there cuts the Christianity up in quite a few places. Man.
Watch this. Now, we're going to go back to Acts chapter 18 now. We're going to tie this in because, like you say, this is going to go into, if you know anything about Aquila and Priscilla, they even had to straighten out our brother Apollos when he came, and he was talking with them too. If you read later down in this chapter, right? Read verse 2.
The book of Acts, chapter 18, verse 2. And found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy.
Read.
With his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome and came into them.
So guess what? He said Claudius told when he commanded all the Jews to depart from Rome. He told all the Jews to get the hell up out of Rome. So what's Paul teaching where at? In Rome too. That's why you got the book of what? Romans. That's why I was trying to explain to the people, when you see these books, these are places. Thessalonica. Them places. Don't think that these are places, man. Roman.
Yeah.
Galatia. These are places, man. Galatians. These are places, man. Think about it. All these places, these are places Paul went to go teach. Right? Ephesus. All these is places, man. Read.
Verse 3. And because he was of the same craft, he abode with them.
So we get, guess what? Because he was of the same craft, it's going into the same nationality. He abode with them. Read.
And wrought. For by their occupation, they were tent makers.
He said, well, but guess what? By their occupation, though, they were tent makers. Read.
And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks.
So he persuaded the Jews and the Greeks. Now, this is going into what? Jews and the Hellenistic Greeks. The Hellenistic Jews that had made what? Greek their tongue. Right? Read.
And when Silas and Timotheus were come from Macedonia, Paul was pressed in the spirit and testified to the Jews that Yahushua was Christ.
It's the same thing that we read in 1 Corinthians. That how he was, guess what? Talking about Yahushua was that spiritual rock. The same thing that they was talking about with Moses. This is what Paul was. He never stopped his message. The same message over and over again. Read.
And when they opposed themselves and blasphemed, he shook his remnant and said unto them, your blood be upon your own head. I am clean. From henceforth, I will go unto the Gentiles.
So when Paul went and did this, guess what? This is how Paul's mind was thinking. Y'all Jews, y'all didn't want to hear this. So guess what? I'm gonna go to the northern tribe. He said, y'all blood be upon your hand. Why you think you got scribes and Pharisees? Why you think you got even the brothers, even the Jews speaking Greek? Why you think they was going there? Paul so tough. Why? Because they didn't care for Paul, man. Because Paul was doing what? Persecuting them, putting them in the prison, killing some of them. Boy, guess why? Why you think Peter them, when they first seen Paul, you think they wanted to talk to Paul?
It was like, well,
say Paul outside. Like, shit.
Don't open that door,
man. Like who outside? Like Paul outside. But guess what? Paul was led in the spirit. Then, you know, he was Saul when they heard about him persecuted him. But when the Most High God called him, he was Paul though, and he had to do the Lord's work, man, accordingly. And the Most High God wasn't playing no games with him, man. He had to do the work accordingly because the Most High God was gonna kill Paul, man. That's why he blinded Paul first, man. I gotta take that fleshly eyes away and give you spiritual eyes, right? This is what the Lord commanded them to do, man. Watch them each morning. Go to Sirach chapter 15 right quick. Sirach chapter 15. Start at verse 11.
The book of Sirach, chapter 15, verse 11. Say not thou, it is through the Lord that I fell away.
So guess what? When Paul was teaching when Paul was teaching in Corinth, brothers was blaspheming. They was doing all kind of little stuff, man, because they didn't believe on Christ. They didn't believe, you know, the Mashiach Yahushua. But guess what? If you read down, guess what? They were baptizing, but some people believed, but some people wasn't. So just because you don't believe, don't try to say you don't because of the Lord I fell away. No, Lord, you ain't really give me no good enough sign. No, he gave it to you. You just didn't have the eyes to see it. Read it up.
Say not thou, it is through the Lord that I fell away. For thou oughtest not to do the things that he hated.
Because guess what, man? You ought not to do the things that God hated, man. If it's in the Bible, you got to do it, man. You got to do it, man. Read.
Say not thou, he had caused me to err.
Guess what, man? We can't say the Lord caused me to err. Guess what? If he sends somebody over here, I don't like how that brother teach. Man, that's okay. It was damn how you don't like how the brother teach. The Lord sent him to do the work. He got to do it. You might not receive it. It just might not be for you to. Might not be. Might not be, man. You know, sometimes, brothers be like, man, let me get him. And, I'm right along with him. Let me get him. I want some of it. You know what? I do all that teaching. Teach it down to the ground. But still, I'm going to show up and don't come.
Don't come.
Yeah. Guess what? He done rebuked his butt about 2 hours. Brothers don't come. I've got dang teach it down to the ground. Brothers don't come. Guess what? He rebuked 10 minutes. Brother come. You don't know how it's gonna come. Don't say, man, I just don't. Well, this brother, he don't. Yeah, guess what? The Most High God said everything up.
And you just do the work.
That's all it is. Just do the work, jerk. When they do the work, jerk. That's a new dance. Do the work, jerk. For real. Read.
For he had no need of the sinful man.
Because when the Lord sent his spiritual men to do this work, guess what? That's why he said he don't get nobody no license to sin. The Lord said, guess what, man? I'm going to make sure I do what I'm supposed to do. Not no sinful man. I'm going to send this man over here to do it. Just like when they seen Paul wasn't full of sin then. Paul had repented. They're like when they seen, like when they see us. He ain't seen no simple man. No, we done repented. We doing the Lord's work, right? Right? Read.
The Lord hated all abomination. And they that fear the Lord love it not.
So guess what? The Lord don't like abomination. We don't like abomination. So if brothers going off, brothers, guess what? If you do it, guess what? We don't like that. We ain't dealing in that spirit, man. We ain't dealing in that spirit, right? Read.
He himself made man from the beginning and left him in the hand of his counsel.
So guess what? He said, I made man from the beginning, and he left him in the hands of his counsel. This is going into his wisdom. His law, statutes, and commandments. What is God's wisdom? This Bible. He said, I made man, and I left it with this is his counsel. I gave it to y'all. We just got to walk in it, right? Read.
For thou wilt to keep the commandments and to perform acceptable faithfulness.
This is what our God expecting us to do. To keep the commandment and to perform acceptable faithfulness. Not wavering. But stay on the beaten path, man. No matter, because guess what? It's going to be a lot of people don't like what we do, man. Guess what, man? Our job is to stay faithful. Just like Brother Paul would, just like Brother Zechariah would, just like Isaiah, Jeremiah. Guess what, man? Just like the King of Kings. Being faithful, man. Acceptable faithful, though. Read.
He had set fire and water before thee. Stretch forth thy hand unto whither thou wilt.
He said, guess what? Stretch forth thy hand to wherever thou wilt. Read.
Before man is life and death.
That's my favorite scripture right here. Read.
Before man is life and death.
Read it.
And whether he like it shall be.
No,
Read that like this thing.
And whether him, it's like it. And whether him like it.
Whether him like it.
Shall be given him.
Shall be given him. This one of my favorites.
Him like it.
Don't like it. The Lord make it plain. Whether him like it, him give it. Him give it right how him like it. If him like evil, him gonna get evil. If him like good, him gonna get good. I guess what I said he broke it down to the simplest form like little kids. I'm gonna put it. I said, okay, you want to talk like little children? Well, helping him like it, him look it.
Like he said, if you love life, then you'll be doing God's law, statutes, and commandments. If you love that, then that means you're gonna be doing all this sinning, and you're gonna get your debt. The people that's in these law, statutes, commandments don't get the life.
Don't get it. Don't get it.
Whether he like it or not.
Whether he like it, him
like it or not.
Him like it or not.
Or not. Go to 2 Ezra chapter 4 and verse 30. Got a few more precepts.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 4, verse 30.
Uh-huh.
For the grain of evil seed has been sown in the heart of Adam.
So guess what? This is going into the same thing. Sirach chapter 15 was saying how the Lord made man from the beginning. He said, but for the grain of evil seed had been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, man. Why was it sown? Guess what? Hey man, you see this philosophy? You see this fruit?
Yeah.
It was sown in them then. Guess what, man? When we were coming out of the room, there's so much stuff being sown in us before we be able to make our own decision, man. It's too pitiful. Think about how we are, man. Right? Read.
For the grain of evil seed had been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness had it brought up unto this time.
So just think about it. From the time of Adam to right now, how much ungodliness the Most High God done seen, man, through men. It's been terrible, man. We done let our God down so many times, man.
And that evil seed is our flesh. It was as soon as Adam was made in that flesh. See, that flesh is war against the spirit. That seed was already implanted when he made it out of flesh.
We don't know.
And how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come?
It said, guess what? And how much this thing gonna bring forth until the time of threshing? What is threshing? It's going into killing. It's killing that flesh off, right? Read.
Ponder now by thyself
Mm-hmm.
how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed had brought forth.
So guess what? Think about how the grain of evil seed done brought forth. Let's go to Matthew chapter 13. Look how this evil seed done brought this thing forth, right? Brothers, sisters, they had this precept. Hey, that's a long precept, man. Matthew chapter 13, starting verse 37.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 13, verse 37. He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man.
So he said, this is going into the wheat and tares, man. He that sowed the good seed, yeah, that's the Mashiach Yahushua, right? Read.
The field is the world.
The field is the what?
The field is the world.
He said, this field is the world, man. Right? Read.
The good seed are the children of the kingdom.
He said, the good seed, though, we see here read about the evil seed. They was going to be set for the time of threshing. But the good seed was going into what? For the kingdom of heaven, right? Read.
But the tares are the children of the wicked
And
one.
then the tear, that's going into the evil seed, is the ones of the wicked one, right? Read.
The enemy that sowed them is the devil.
Who sowed them seeds, man?
The enemy that sowed them is the devil.
Because guess what? If you're not doing things acceptable to the Most High God, you're not doing the acceptable faith to the Most High God, guess what? Whatever him like it, him can get too on both sides, right? He said the enemy that sowed them is the devil, man. Read.
The harvest is the end of the world,
The harvest is the end of this world, man. Read.
and the reapers are the angels.
Uh-huh.
As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire,
So the tares are gathered and burned in the fire. Read.
so shall it be in the end of this
So
world.
this was gonna happen in the end of this world too. Guess what? Thermonuclear fire. But guess what? I can see how brothers just stop right there and they say this is the only thing is about the nuclear fire and that'll be. But guess what? It's gonna go down to explain the lake of fire too. But read on.
The Son of Man shall send forth his angels.
So guess what? It said, no, just keep in mind, it said at the end of this world, the wheat gonna be gathered and the tares gonna be burnt in the fire, right? Now, verse 41.
The Son of Man shall send forth his angels,
Uh-huh.
and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend,
So he said the angels gonna gather all things that been offended, right? That offend, right?
in them which do iniquity,
Which them that do iniquity, read.
and cast them into a furnace of fire.
So guess what? It's two deaths. It's not just one death that's gonna happen. You got the thermonuclear fire, but on the second death, what? You're gonna be cast into the lake of fire. So this right here, Christ clears it up to us how it's not just gonna be nuclear fire. It's gonna be the lake of fire. The Lord talking about.
Right.
Christ Himself said, "No, you're gonna be cast into a." After that happened, guess what? It said, "And shall cast them into a furnace of fire." What is a furnace? It's like a pit.
Yeah.
It's like an oven. You're gonna cast you into an oven of fire. Read on.
There shall be wailing and gnashing of
And
teeth.
there should be wailing and gnashing of teeth. So
Wailing and gnashing of teeth.
So this is what we get out of this. So when we look at the scriptures, we cannot say that it's just gonna be nuclear fire only. That brother's gonna go through. No, you're gonna go to the lake, which burns the brimstone and fire, man. You going to the, guess what? Us not keeping the commandments, man. That's why it's pivotal that brothers and sisters make sure that they not walk in vain by nature, and that we keeping our soul aright, man. Keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments. Man. Give me a commandment right quick. Keeping our heart aright, man. So we not offending our God. So we not offending our nation. So we not offending our brothers, man. Make sure that brothers stay grounded, sisters stay grounded, man. It's our job, man, as a nation. You say follow God's law, statutes, and commandments, so we got to find us a commandment. Whoever find them. Thank you, y'all, for tuning in tonight, man. Like and share the video. Help us put this truth around the four corners of the earth, man. Say follow God's law, statutes, and commandments. Let me see. We in.
Look, Leviticus.
What you got? Deuteronomy
Okay.
32 and 29. It's kind of like that.
We get special. You can agree with it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 29. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their letter end.
So the Most High said He wished that we were wise using wisdom, man. Brothers and sisters, start using some wisdom. Start getting to this Bible, getting more understanding, so that you can understand the latter end. See, we see what's up. Like I said, when we see them children getting killed in these schools, we see this thing happening, man. We're wise of the latter end because we know these things have to be performed by the miracles of the Most High God, man. He is showing His power, man. But He said, I wish that they were wise. Oh, that they were wise. I wish that the Israelites, these brothers, these so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans would start being wise, man, and use some wisdom. That they understood this, they would consider their latter end. We got to consider the latter end. Like I said, it's two deaths, man. The first death is what? Flesh. The second death is what? Spirit. We need to consider our latter end, man. Start being wise using wisdom, man. Get into these scriptures.
And with that,
Say shalom.
Shalom. That's funny to say. I had one. I didn't know if you have to write it down.